This is the WP Week podcast, powered by Profile Press and WP Job Openings. This week brought another packed round of WordPress news, from what's coming in WordPress 7.1 and community discussions, to WooCommerce, AI, security, and a wave of new plugins and projects worth keeping an eye on. Profile Press lets you sell subscriptions, digital downloads, courses, and restrict content with Stripe and PayPal integration. And WP Job Openings is the easiest way to set up a professional career page and start accepting applications in just minutes. There was no shortage of WordPress news this week. New features are moving closer to release, familiar names sparked fresh discussions across the community, and developers continued shipping new tools that show just how quickly the ecosystem is evolving. For the first time in 4 years, Matt Mullenweg has commented on the active install growth chart track ticket created by Mark Zara. Matt suggested that Mark Riley could serve as an ombudsman, saying the issue involves competing interests. He added that the long-term incentives of commercial and community plugins, along with how they relate to WordPress core functionality and the project roadmap, also need to be considered. Looking ahead to WordPress 7.1, the release is shaping up to be a feature-packed update. It will turn the built-in SVG icon system into a public API, allowing developers to register custom icons, organize them into collections, render them in PHP, and access them through the REST API. Native minimum width block support is also on the way, giving themes and blocks an opt-in control for the CSS min-width property without custom CSS. Accessibility also gets a boost with a new Mark as Decorative option in the image block lock, allowing users to identify images that should be ignored by assistive technologies. There is even more coming in WordPress 7.1. The update will also introduce new background gradient block support, editable blocks inside the custom HTML block, text shadow support in global styles, and so much more. The WordPress accessibility team has extended the deadline for accessibility-ready theme reviews until September 30th, 2026. The team says it needs more time to re-review themes under the updated guidelines, and any themes that have not requested a re-review by October 1 will lose their accessibility-ready tag and be removed from the directory. WordPress 7.1 Beta 3 is now available. The beta resolves more than 71 issues since Beta 1, with improvements to global styling controls, media uploads, notes, responsive styling, and custom CSS. Also, Unicode email address support has been delayed and will continue as a community plugin, while the final WordPress 7.1 release remains scheduled for August 19. Moving forward, the WordPress community team is considering replacing its monthly status meetings with written updates and co-working sessions. The proposal from Team Rep Juan Hernando would replace live status meetings with a monthly written digest, while using co-working sessions for volunteers to collaborate on real tasks. Feedback is being gathered, and the team is also considering bringing back the Meetup Organizer newsletter. The Gutenberg plugin has another feature-packed update. Gutenberg 23.6 has promoted the playlist and tabs blocks to stable status while expanding editing capabilities. The release also adds inline notes, mentions, a dynamic mode for the gallery block, along with improvements to responsive styling, global styles, and a range of bug fixes. The WordPress Playground team wants your feedback. Philippe Sintra is asking users to test the platform's redesigned interface before its official launch. The testing covers creating and managing playgrounds, blueprints, developer tools, imports and exports, sharing, and the overall experience on desktop and mobile. The official WordPress AI plugin has gained several new capabilities. Version 1.2.0 introduces AI-generated suggested replies for comments, bulk content summaries for posts and pages, and new read-only abilities. WooCommerce is dedicating the next 3 months entirely to improving its core plugin. According to Rebrands, the product and engineering teams will focus on reviewing thousands of open GitHub issues and pull requests, while prioritizing performance and reliability, developer experience, the store admin experience, and the checkout engine. WordFence has published its latest weekly vulnerability report, revealing that 75 vulnerabilities were disclosed across WordPress, core and plugins during the week of July 13 through July 19. Outside the WordPress ecosystem, OpenAI and Hugging Face are investigating an AI agent that compromised infrastructure during a controlled security evaluation. The models exploited a zero-day vulnerability, chained together stolen credentials and other weaknesses, and accessed Hugging Face production systems before the activity was detected and contained. Both companies are now patching vulnerabilities and strengthening future evaluation safeguards. Security researcher Sanjay Das has demonstrated how a PostgreSQL order by injection bypassed BAF protections. During a client engagement, the testing exposed database information, server details, PostgreSQL function source code, and database objects after bypass techniques successfully evaded common SQL injection protections. The WP Community Collective has a new name. The organization has rebranded as the WP Open Community Collective after CEO Say Reed discovered a pending WordPress Foundation trademark application for the WPCC acronym. The team said the change was made to avoid a potential trademark dispute while continuing its work unchanged. The Linux Foundation has joined the Open Secure AI Alliance as a founding member alongside NVIDIA and other technology companies. The initiative aims to develop open tools and techniques that improve AI security while promoting transparent and trustworthy AI systems. WordCamp US is introducing a sponsored creator studio for attendees. Running from August 16 through 19, the studio will offer bookable sessions for podcasts, interviews, reflections, and other content creation using professional video, audio, lighting, and backdrop equipment. Two popular WordPress products are celebrating major milestones. Essential Add-ons for Elementor is marking its 9th anniversary with discounts of up to 40%. While SureRank is celebrating its first birthday by offering up to 45% off Pro plans until August 3. A closer look at WordPress.org's active install numbers is raising new questions. Marcin Dudek investigated claims that a theme author had artificially inflated active install counts, but instead concluded that WordPress.org's numbers are rounded. It also does not have any public historical record and relies on an unauthenticated reporting mechanism that cannot be independently verified. He's now recording the figures over time to build the historical data that WordPress.org doesn't currently provide. Now, one community member believes AI builders will reshape WordPress's future. Nikolai Graf-Russell believes WordPress will gradually lose market share through 2029 as AI-powered and hosted website builders take over simpler website projects. He expects WordPress to remain strong for content-heavy sites, WooCommerce stores, memberships, multilingual websites, and custom workflows, while arguing that WordPress hosting should increasingly embrace AI-assisted management. There's a new podcast aimed at WordPress product owners. Andrew Palmer and Stephanie Hudson have launched Pressing Forward, a new podcast for product owners. The show combines founder interviews with product demonstrations and charges an appearance fee based on 5% of a guest's monthly recurring revenue, capped at $2,500 per episode. Brad Williams is putting AI to work behind the scenes. He's building a dashboard that understands the WeDev Studio's brand voice, automatically curates interesting social posts and blog topics, and recommends older content that deserves another promotion. Meanwhile, Pavel Chirici has highlighted a growing pattern. Many of his customers are buying his WordPress themes, fully customizing it, and then requesting a refund within an hour while continuing to use the theme on a live site. He says the trend raises questions about where the line should be drawn between a fair refund policy and using refunds as a free trial. SideBulky wants more context around WordPress security warnings. After a customer was advised to disable a plugin over a low-severity admin-level vulnerability, Bulky argued that administrators already have extensive control over a WordPress site, and that exaggerated warnings can create unnecessary fear across the ecosystem. Not everyone is happy with the current direction of WordPress core. Saber Weiger argues that developers are relying too heavily on AI-assisted coding without enough senior oversight. He claims WordPress 7.1 will introduce even more bugs and recommends staying on WordPress 6.9 or moving to Classic Press. The WooCommerce ecosystem has a new community resource. Rodolfo Malogli has announced that the WooCommerce Founders Directory is now open for submissions. This brings together plugin developers, agencies, hosting companies, payment providers, and others building products around WooCommerce. Krista Ketri is the latest recipient of the Yoast Care Fund in recognition of his contributions to the WordPress community. One familiar face is leaving the WordPress industry. Jonathan Jernigan has announced that he is leaving his WordPress career to launch Surfside JDM, a new business focused on importing cars from Japan. Jamie Marsland is experimenting with a different way to build WordPress sites. His new project, Go, aims to make designing with WordPress feel more like Canva through a free-form editing experience, while still producing native WordPress layouts using CSS Grid and AI-assisted page creation. Nova Mira is tackling one of AI's biggest design problems. Version 1.10.0 introduces Nova Mira Design, a feature that creates a reusable design system covering typography, colors, spacing, tone of voice, and design rules. With this, AI agents can generate more consistent pages across different WordPress themes and builders. Fluent Community 2.7.5 adds audio sharing, audio galleries, new lesson blocks, member password management, portal theme controls, document renaming, faster feeds, stronger permissions, and a range of stability improvements. Custom HTML block extension 4.1.0 introduces new editing controls, expands support for inner content-based custom HTML blocks, improves accessibility and the editor experience, and adds compatibility with WordPress 7.1. Flowmatic 7.1 now allows users to enable only the modules they need. The update also introduces front-end table embeds, a developer API, a CSV import wizard, improvements to forms, security enhancements, and multiple bug fixes. WP Plugin Info Card is looking for a new developer. Ronald Hureka shared that plugin owner Bryce Capobianco is seeking someone to take over development. After 6 years, Ajay D'Souza is retiring the popular Authors plugin. Version 1.5.0 will be its final release, with no future updates or security support, while its core functionality moves into Top 10 Pro. The ACF Annual Survey for 2026 is now open. The survey explores how people use ACF and WordPress, with the anonymized results to be published later this year. Several new WordPress projects also caught attention this week. WP Staging Desktop is a desktop application that lets users clone a live WordPress site into a complete local development environment. ThinkRank is a new AI-native SEO plugin from WP Developer that combines traditional SEO tools with AI-powered content briefs, metadata generation, competitor analysis, and an MCP server. Foo Plugins has launched Foo Gallery Client Proofing, allowing photographers and agencies to turn existing galleries into private review sessions where clients can approve, reject, and comment on images through a secure link. Amelia Business App gives administrators and employees mobile access to schedules, appointments, events, status updates, and QR code event check-ins without using the WordPress dashboard. DocsPress, created by Fatih Kadir Ayakun, synchronizes Markdown documentation from GitHub with WordPress. Plugin Auditor from Mayank Majeji and Mahesh Pawar scans WordPress plugins for security, compatibility, performance, privacy, accessibility, and coding standards issues across 72 automated checks. CSS Guardrail, developed by Nick Lowe, scans CSS changes before they are saved, blocks potentially dangerous edits, creates backups, and logs CSS events for easier recovery. GigaToken, developed by Marcel Rudd, is a high-performance tokenizer that acts as a drop-in replacement for Hugging Face tokenizers and TikToken while delivering tokenization speeds of up to 1,000 times faster on modern CPUs. That wraps up this week's Roundup, packed with releases, milestones, new tools, and plenty of movement across the ecosystem. Thanks for listening to the WP Week podcast, sponsored by Profile Press and WP Job Openings. We'll catch you next week with more stories from the world of WordPress.